Hey there, so I just got back from the CDI in Temecula last weekend and I wanted to film a quick what was I thinking video as I ride through the Prix St. George with my 8-year-old Kensington. I did a video like this a few years ago when Kensington was a 6-year-old, so I thought it would be fun to give you a little bit of an update. I love training horses and kind of seeing them progress and develop. When I got Kensington, his canter was like huge and out of balance, and he's a really talented horse, but like all horses, they have their challenges, and it's been really fun to work with him. I'm really proud of how far he's come and how well he did, and I still have a lot of work to do. So without further ado, let's get started. So to start out with, I enter on the left lead canter, and I'm really focusing on keeping his canter quick and short and active. You want to have a small, active, collected canter. I usually pick whichever lead is easiest to enter on. Halt, make sure to stand perfectly still, and then you want to go immediately into the trot with no walk step. So I lost maybe a little balance into the halt, but I was pretty happy with how he got out of the halt. So then track right, extended trot. I always try to use my corners to prepare for the movement. So corners and short sides are super important to get your horse rebalanced and engaged. And then when you go across the short side, you really want to show off your horse's silhouette, show off like their expression in their trot. Then I have my shoulder in left from F to B. Try to just maintain a steady angle and bend. That's super important. 8-meter circle. I think my circle was a little bit big. The judge commented on that. So make sure if you're doing an 8-meter circle, don't go to the center line. And then half pass left and track to the left. And then I have my extended trot. So far I'm happy. Kensington is just starting to develop more power and more strength. I had one little bobble in that extended trot. You saw he just lost his balance and the rhythm a tiny bit for one stride. I maybe pushed him just a little bit too much, but that's always a risk, is like you want to go for it, but not too much when you're riding. So now I have my shoulder into the right, and again, just maintaining the tempo, maintaining the balance, showing the bend and the suppleness. 8-meter circle to the right, and then half pass to the right. I really like the Prix St. George. It's a really nice test to ride. It really flows well. This half pass to the right, I would say it could have a bit more bend. And then in the trot walk transition there, it was a little abrupt. You saw how he kind of like stopped rather than flowed forward into the walk. So that's something, you know, sometimes in the show ring, horses will back off a little bit. That's Kensington's tendency. And I just used a bit too much hand in that downward transition. So now I have my left walk pirouette, which was I was pretty happy with these walk pirouettes. He kept the activity. The walk pirouettes are like one of the hardest movements to feel and to ride well. So I was quite happy with how he did in the walk pirouettes here. And then for my extended walk, it's a little bit tricky with Kensington. If I keep the activity, he doesn't have as much overtrack. And so his extended walk was a little bit tight. Like he had more activity, but he didn't have as much overtrack as he normally does. This isn't really the best angle to see it from, but for the extended walk, what the judge wants to see is that the strides extend and that the hind feet go past the footprints of the front feet, which he was kind of tracking up, but he wasn't really over tracking. So then at K, I have transition to the collected canter left lead. I was happy with that transition. He was like really sharp. I've been working so hard with Kensington on getting his canter shorter and quicker, because when I got him, his canter was very long and slow. So then my left half pass and my flying change to the right here was not good. That was a bad flying change. He totally cheated me. He like trotted behind. He didn't do a clean change. And the reason was I didn't get him enough off my right rein and my right side before that change. But moving on, you have a mistake, you just have to keep going and forget about the mistake. So now I'm preparing for my left pirouette. And again, I'm thinking about like quicker and smaller and quicker and smaller, and then bending and keeping the activity and turning. I have to be so careful with Kensington not to use too much rein, especially he's just getting used to the double bridle. This is one of the first times I've showed him in the double bridle. And so if I accidentally get my curb too tight, he just stops. So I have to be really delicate with what I do with my hands and make sure I'm really riding him from back to front. And now my right pirouette. And these half pirouettes are still a little bit on the large side, but since Kensington is green at this level, I would prefer to keep them a little bit larger and maintain the activity. So it's more important that I keep the rhythm and the activity, even if they're a little bit large, rather than having a mistake. So now I have my 4 tempies, and my tempi changes are still a little bit green. You'll see my 3 tempies when I'm coming towards the camera are very crooked. So I need to work on getting my tempi changes straighter. Kensington was really difficult to teach the changes to. A lot of times horses that are really supple laterally, like he is really able to move sideways quite easily, but that makes it hard to keep the flying changes straight. Like I said, it's always important when you're showing and you're competing that you know, like, yeah, I still have a lot to work on and a lot that I can make better. But overall, I'm just so proud of how far Kensington has come. He's a sensitive horse. Okay, so that extended canter I was pretty happy with. Again, really use your corners. I think that's one of the biggest secrets to test riding, is that the corners and the short sides are really the only time, like the only free time that you have in your test where you can make corrections. And then my halt transition. Good boy, Kensington. Good boy. So I was happy with that test. He won his class. He got a 71%. I was super proud of him. Like I said, Kensington is a very talented horse, but he's also really sensitive. And sometimes when he like really uses himself or moves big, he kind of scares himself. So it's definitely been tricky to give him that confidence and to find that balance with him. And I'm really proud of how far he's come. I still have a lot to work on, but to be doing this Prix St. George at 8 years old, I'm just proud. And that, to me, I think it's important when you're showing to always remember that it's about the journey and the relationship that you have your horse. You can't get so wrapped up in the score or the placing that you forget to just enjoy your horse and be proud of where you've come. My best advice is to prepare the best you can, do everything you can do to get fully prepared for the show, and then just be happy with the outcome, because that's really all you can do is do your best. Horses are unpredictable. Sometimes you have good rides, sometimes you have bad rides. You just have to smile and move on. Tomorrow's another day. So let me know down in the comments if you like this video and if you think I should do more videos like this where I talk through my ride. Be sure to subscribe and like my channel. It really helps me out if you subscribe. We're almost to 100,000 subscribers, and every subscriber helps. So thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video.